You had the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, a holdover, Sally Yates, tries to use the Logan Act as a basis for interviewing General Flynn. Even Judge Kelly, not Emmett Kelly, Emmett Sullivan, he even woke up today in the afternoon session, asked the prosecutor, what basis did you interview? The Logan Act. The Logan Act, which has never been used successfully against anybody. It was a pretext. And you do not hear this on TV tonight. Sally Yates, the Obama holdover, Deputy Attorney General of the United States, uses the Logan Act. Then Comey sends over 2 FBI agents, skirts the White House rules, skirts the White House counsel's office, urges Flynn not to hire a lawyer. And you and I are supposed to sit here and listen to this damn judge this morning accuse him of treason? Incredible. Incredible what's happened to our country. It's a disgrace. You're a disgrace, Sullivan. A disgrace what you did today. You must be impressed with all your headlines, huh? It's boring sitting there in the courtroom. Nobody notices you. Boring. Then a hot potato is thrown your way. And man, you take advantage of it. Is that how justice is supposed to work? Emmett Sullivan had a very, very bad day. He did not conduct himself like a jurist. He was immature. He popped off. I don't care what his history is in the Ted Stevens case and so forth. I read everything available at what took place in that courtroom, and he was out of control. And this can happen when you have a lifetime appointment, when you have a big case, when the media are clogging the courtroom, and you know the media are going to report on what you say. And during the morning, this judge, flesh and blood, accused a retired lieutenant general, 3-star general, a hero, of treason. He doesn't know Michael Flynn. All he knows is the little pieces of information that have been presented to him. He doesn't know the circumstances of Michael Flynn's life, why he decided to plead, that there is a legal gun pointed to his head. And all day long I have to hear on cable TV, but Flynn lied, didn't he? Flynn lied, didn't he? Flynn lied, didn't he? Comey lied by testifying in front of Congress. McCabe lied, the deputy director of the FBI. Strzok and Page, they lied. Eric Holder's a liar. He was held in contempt. Loretta Lynch is a liar. The only difference here, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm not advocating lying. But apparently some lies are worse than others. Some lies actually have consequences. Now, the circumstances around what Michael Flynn did are rejected. Did he lie? Did he lie? Did he lie? Michael Flynn was interviewed twice. Why was he interviewed twice? Why was he interviewed at all? They already intercepted his communications with the ambassador from Russia, Kislyak. They already had a transcription. They already leaked to a Washington Post columnist and unmasked him illegally. He had had this discussion. Was the discussion itself a crime? No. Was the substance of the discussion a crime? No. Any bribes discussed? No. Anything of any real substance? No. No. Flynn was scared. He knew they had a transcript of what he said, but he was nervous. He was worried. When a couple of FBI agents come to interview you, ladies and gentlemen, you're nervous. You already feel like you're a defendant. And even worse, the director of the FBI told his agents to bypass normal White House protocol to not alert the White House counsel's office to dissuade Flynn from having private counsel. Now, why would you do that? Why would you interview him twice? Why would you disarm him? Why would you tell him not to have a lawyer? Why would you bypass the White House counsel's office? But he lied, didn't he? But he lied, didn't he? See, this is the difference. You and I care about processes. You and I care about due process. You and I care about the presumption of innocence. The False Statements Act. 18 United States Code 1001. You do not have to lie to be found guilty or to be charged under that statute. If you are considered misleading, you can be charged under that statute. Nobody's questioning whether that statute needs to be changed given the obvious abuses under Mueller and others. No. And this judge has the gall to accuse this general of treason because he happens to be wearing a black robe and appointed for life, picked out of obscurity, and made a federal judge. And he knows he can sit in that damn courtroom and say whatever the hell he wants to say without consequence. Now, he walked it back, they say, later in the afternoon. I wasn't saying he committed treason. I was just inquiring. Well, wasn't that stupid? He misspoke. Well, luckily, he wasn't under oath. Luckily, he wasn't being investigated by the FBI. And then I have to watch the usual gaggle of talking heads, the usual phony legal experts and non-legal experts, gaggling on and on and on during the break. During the break in the early afternoon. Telling us the real problem with Flynn, you see, is that he was being paid by the Turkish government and he did not register as a foreign agent. Ladies and gentlemen, this may come as a shock to you. But prior to the prosecution of Paul Manafort for not registering as a foreign agent, the vast majority of people who represent foreign countries and do not register as foreign agents have not been prosecuted. They've been told with a slap on the hand, get your ass into the Department of Justice and register. So they cure the fault. They cure it. Felonies are not thrown at them. The judge misstated the facts in the courtroom. Mr. Flynn was not the national security advisor at the time he was representing the Turkish government or some arm of it. He was a private citizen. He'd been working on the Trump campaign. That was a source of income for him. So what did he do when he was representing the Turkish government? Did he sell out the United States? We have no idea. But we know he didn't sell out the United States. He was not charged with any violations of any law related to his representation of the Turkish government. And yet the commentators go on, I don't know if he should get a pardon. That concerns me a lot, you know. He's going to be representing the President of the United States. And there he was being paid by the Turkish government. This is news? This is news? All day long, this is news? It's a minor news event. All of it. Now, the judge says, I can still give you jail time. Even though the prosecutor recommends 0, even though you ask for 0, I can still give you jail time. This judge has spent 3 days on this case. And he thinks he knows more than the prosecution and the defense. This is the problem with these lifetime arrogant judges. They think they know everything, and they don't. And they don't. And in the case of Emmett Sullivan, he disgraced himself today. He disgraced himself today. He might as well have been a commentator on MSNBC or CNN. Now, all of this is intended not to smear Michael Flynn, not to smear Paul Manafort, not to smear George Papadopoulos, and down the line. It's all intended to take out this President of the United States. And yet nothing related to the Flynn matter has anything to do with Donald Trump. Nothing. 0. No Russia collusion, Turkey irrelevant, false statement irrelevant, none of it. None of it. James Comey lied under oath to Congress. James Comey repeatedly usurped the Department of Justice lines of authority. James Comey skirted the usual procedures in interviewing an incoming White House official. He bypassed White House counsel. And he urged Mr. Flynn, a non-lawyer, a hero lieutenant general, not to hire counsel, just to have a discussion with his 2 FBI agents. And Comey brags about it. James Comey is a lowlife. In my view, he is mentally unhinged. The fact that he sat as FBI director, the fact that he sat as Deputy Attorney General of the United States, the fact that he was a U.S. attorney tells me we have something truly wrong. There's something truly sick in our system. Or a man who is so unstable can serve in these highest positions and threaten the liberty of scores of American citizens. It is appalling. Today was a horrible day for American justice, just as yesterday was and the day before. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.